session. So in today's session we will discuss third unit. We will start with third unit. So third unit is basically practical applications of Bernoulli's theorem. It starts with. So it includes three topics: Venturi meter, RFS meter, and Pitot tube. So we'll start with the Venturi meter first. So let me tell you about the introduction part. So what is the purpose of this unit actually? So in 5 sections, how Bernoulli's theorem is useful we have discussed. Okay. So there are some practical applications are there in industrial pipe sections. So wherever the liquids are flowing inside the pipe sections, we have to measure the rate of flow among that particular pipe sections. So that purpose we need pressure measuring devices, right? So we need the rate of to find out the rate of flow, we need some devices. So how to find out the rate of flow in that particular pipe sections? So then by using Bernoulli's equation, by applying the Bernoulli's equation to that particular pipelines, so we can find out the rate of flow through them. So the Bernoulli's equation, on the basis of Bernoulli's equation, 3 devices are there. One is Venturi meter, second one is RFS meter, and third one is Pitot tube. Okay, these 3 are the devices which are useful to measure the rate of flow through a pipe section. So in this session we will discuss about the Venturi meter and its equation for rate of flow through this Venturi meter. So let me tell you first what is a Venturi meter actually. So Venturi meter is a device which is working on the basis of Bernoulli's equation. This particular Venturi meter is basically used to find out the rate of flow through a pipe section or any pipeline or pipe sections. If you want to measure the rate of flow, this Venturi meter is very helpful. Okay, so the basic Venturi meter diagram I will draw. So see, this is the diagram. So a Venturi meter contains 3 parts. So this is a pipe section. So the Venturi meter contains a converging part like this. Okay, a converging part. This is called as inlet, and a throat at the middle, and a diverging part at the other end. Okay, so here this is called as 1 and this is called as 2. So this is called as inlet. Okay, it is called as inlet. It is a converging part. So it is converging to the middle, and at the middle the part is called as throat. It is called as throat section, and this one is the diverging part. Okay, so in this fluid is flowing inside. Okay, so liquid is flowing inside, I assume water is flowing. Okay, so if you want to measure the rate of flow through this, so the pressure head at inlet and pressure head at the throat. Okay. So difference of pressure head will be denoted by the value H. Okay. That means the pressure difference between the 2 points. So the pressure head at the inlet and pressure head at the outlet. So the difference of pressure heads at between the 2 points we have selected at end 1 and at the point 2, the difference of pressure heads will be denoted by the symbol H. Again, this Venturi meter is connected to a differential manometer at the 2 points. These are the 2 points where we have to calculate the pressure difference so that we can measure the rate of flow through the pipe. Okay, so to note down the difference of pressure difference among the 2 points, if these two points are connected to a manometer again, so a differential U-tube manometer is connected to the 2 points. So in the U-tube manometer, mercury will be there inside. So if pressure difference happened between the inlet and throat, the mercury level inside the U-tube manometer will changes. There we have to find out the difference of mercury level inside the manometer. Then by using the formula, we can measure the rate of flow value Q. Okay. So this venturimeter contains basically 3 parts. So it is, one is a converging section, so it is called as inlet also, and the throat at the middle, and third one, the third part is a diverging section, and it is also called as outlet. Okay, so these are the 3 parts of a venturimeter, right? So now we will find out the equation of rate of flow through this venturimeter. So consider, for this measurement of rate of flow or discharge through this particular pipe section, we have fitted a venturimeter at the middle. So by using this venturimeter, now we have to solve or we have to derive the equation for rate of flow. Okay, to measure the rate of flow, we have to find out the formula for this particular venturimeter value. So the venturimeter device. So now we have a venturimeter over here. So it contains an inlet section and a throat section in the middle. So consider a venturimeter. So consider a venturimeter which is fitted to a pipe which is horizontal. So here the pipe alignment is like horizontal, right? So we can sometimes might be inclined or it might be vertical. Okay, we can fit venturimeter to any of the pipe section. The alignment might be vertical or might be horizontal or might be the inclined, so that the heads will be varied. That means the datum height will be varied. It is horizontal, right? So assume this is the point 1, this is the point 1 and this is the point 2. So here you can see the point 1 and 2 are on the same line, right? That means from this datum level, the both Z1 and Z2 are same. Okay, the Z1 and Z2 values are same, right? So there is no datum difference because the pipe section is like horizontal. So at inlet, so at section 1, what are the properties are? P1 is the pressure at section 1, D1 will be diameter at section 1 and D2 will be diameter at section 2. And V1 will be velocity of particular fluid at section 1 and V1 will be cross sectional area at 1. Okay, similarly at section 2 the properties are pressure value P2 and diameter is D2 and cross sectional area A2 and velocity of flow is V2. So the properties are P2, pressure difference, pressure at the throat, diameter of the throat, area of cross section of the throat and velocity of flow inside the throat section. So these are the properties of this particular pipeline. Apply the Bernoulli's equation for this particular pipe section. So we have a datum line here. So this is the Venturi meter we have. So this is the point 1 and this is the point 2. So this is Z1 and this is Z2, right? So here Z1 and Z2 are same, right? Okay. So now apply Bernoulli's equation. Apply Bernoulli's equation now. So what is Bernoulli's equation? P1 by rho g plus V1 square by 2g plus Z1. So for this one, okay, at section 1. So next at the third section, what is the Bernoulli's equation there? P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2z plus Z2. Okay, so this is the Bernoulli's equation for this particular pipe section. Here Z1 is equal to Z2, right? Okay, so as Z1 is equal to Z2, so we can cancel these two terms, right? Z1, Z2 are same. So in between any one of these two, we can substitute this and we can cancel them. So the remaining equation will be P by rho g plus V1 square by 2g is equal to P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2g, right? So keep the pressure heads at one side and velocities at the other side. So keep this side, P1 by rho g minus P2 by rho g is equal to V2 square by 2g minus V1 square by 2g. So here keeping rho g as common, P1 minus P2 by rho g. So this is 1, and here also keeping 2g as common. So V2 square minus V1 square by 2g. So this is the equation we got up to now. So at this particular pipe, in this particular pipe section, so we have just known the pressure difference of pressure heads. So the difference of pressure heads at the 2 points we have denoted with the symbol. We have denoted with the letter small h. So here small h denotes the difference of pressure heads between the 2 points. That nothing but the pressure difference. Okay. So here the difference of pressure heads is this, right? So this term will represent the difference of pressure heads. P by rho g is the pressure head at 1. P2 by rho g is the pressure head at 2. The difference between the two pressure heads is this one. So here h denotes difference of pressure heads. Okay, so we can denote that with the symbol h. So h is equal to P1 minus P2 by rho g. Okay, so this is equation 2. Or say something. So here in the previous section we have got h is equal to P1 minus P2 by rho g, right? So it is called as difference of pressure heads. And from the equation P1 minus P2 by rho g is equal to V2 square minus V1 square by 2g. So this is the equation we have. So it is 1 and it is 2. So substitute the h value in this equation 1. You will get in place of this. Can you write the h value here? So substitute 2 in 1. We get, so small h is equal to V2 square minus V1 square by 2g. Okay, this is another form. So assume it is the equation number 3. Now, in this particular pipe section, along this pipe section, apply the continuity equation. So apply the continuity equation. So what is the continuity equation here? So A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. Okay. So this is the continuity equation for this particular pipe section. We have measuring the rate of flow. So in this, what is the form for V1? A2 V2 by A1, right? Okay. So what V1 is equal to A2 V2 by A1. Okay. So assume this is 4 and substitute this term V1 is equal to A2 V2 by A1 in the equation number 3. That means in the term H. Okay. So substitute the value 4 in 3. Okay. So you will get H is equal to V2 square minus, in place of V1, A2 V2 by A1 whole square by 2G. Okay. So what you will get? So V2 square minus A2 by A1 whole square into V2 square, so by 2G. Okay. So here again V2 square by 2G minus A2 square by A1 square into V2 square by 2G. So taking common as these two terms, so H is equal to V2 square by 2G. Here 1 you will get, here A2 square by A1 square you will get. Okay. So again H is equal to V2 square by 2G into, taking 1 as LCM, A1 square minus A2 square by A1 square, right? So here in this equation, so V2 square is equal to 2G into H, right? 2G into H into, this term will be reversed. So A1 square by A1 square minus A2 square. Okay. So then what about V2 here? This square will comes as a root. Okay. Square root of 2GH into A1 square by A1 square minus A2 square. Okay. So V2 is equal to square root of 2GH into square root of A1 square, right? What you will get? A1 by square root of A1 square minus A2 square, right? So here under root, this A1 square will be A1 and this root will be comes to this form, right? So here we got the value for V2. Okay. Then what about the discharge formula? Q is equal to AV. So nothing but A2 into V2, right? Okay. So what about the value for V2 here? So in this equation it is 5 and it is 6 and it is 5. So substitute the equation 5 in now 6. So you will get Q is equal to A2 into root 2GH A1 by A1 square minus A2 square. So A1 multiplied by A2, you will get Q is equal to square root of 2GH into A1 A2 by square root of A1 square minus A2 square. Okay. So this is the equation we need to find out the rate of flow. Q is equal to square root of 2GH into A1 A2 by square root of A1 square minus A2 square. This is called as the theoretical discharge. So it is called as Q theoretical. So without any losses in the tensiometer. So obviously the pipe section will contain some losses. Okay, so if we consider the losses of the venturimeter also into account, that rate of flow or that discharge by considering the losses is basically called as actual discharge. Okay, then what is the formula for actual discharge? Okay, actual discharge is equal to coefficient of venturimeter multiplied by this value. So 2GH into A1 A2 by square root of A1 square minus A2 square. Here the CD is called as coefficient of venturimeter. So basically the theoretical discharge, this is called as actual discharge. Actual discharge. So when comparing with the theoretical discharge, actual discharge will be less, because in this we have considered the losses, so that we have given the coefficient of discharge value. So then what about the coefficient of discharge for the venturimeter, right? So the CD value for venturimeter will be less than 1. Okay, we basically take in between 0.9 to 1. Okay, if there is no losses, the CD value will be 1. If there are any losses, the CD value might be less than less than 1. Okay, basically we will take 0.98, 0.94, 0.92. Based upon the losses, we will consider the CD value. So what is the CD value? The coefficient of venturimeter value. So it is less than 1 basically by considering the losses. So if there are no losses, so CD value will be is equal to 1. Okay, so here CD less than 1 generally we will take, and if there are losses are neglected, the CD value is equal to 1. So if losses are there, we have to take less than 1 as a CD, and if there is no losses inside the pipe section, so the CD value is basically we will take as 1. So the theoretical discharge will be more for any pipe section, and the actual discharge will be less, because here we have to consider the losses also. By considering the losses, the actual discharge will be less than the theoretical discharge. Okay, so the relation is Q theoretical will be more than Q actual. Okay, right? Remember this one. So this is the formula you have to remember. Q actual is equal to CD into root 2GH multiplied by A1 A2 by root A1 square minus A2 square. Here CD is called as coefficient of discharge, and A1 A2 are the cross sectional areas of the inlet and throat, and G is the acceleration due to gravity, H will be the difference of pressure heads. So the H value is important here. So based upon the manometer position and based upon the position of manometer and the liquid inside the manometer, the formula for H will change. So the position of this venturimeter and the liquid, whatever the liquid we have considered inside the manometer, that means we have a differential UG manometer. So if mercury is there, or else if kerosene is there, if any other liquid is there which is lighter than the fluid inside the pipe, or if heavier liquid is there inside the manometer which is actually heavier than the fluid inside the pipe. So based upon the liquid which is inside the manometer, so the H value, the formula for H will be different. So now we will consider the following cases to determine the H value. There is a small formula will be there to calculate the H, right?